Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and welcome to another Injustice video. Now today, in celebration of the release of Enchantress, I wanted to talk about the 5 things you probably didn't know about her. So we'll be talking about some new 52 stuff, as well as some old stuff, and on top of that, some movie stuff, because honestly, how could I leave the Suicide Squad film off this list? Anyway, on that note, let's actually get on to the video. Number 1. Her origins. Now it wouldn't surprise me at all if any of you were unfamiliar with where she came from, because the Enchantress was made in 1966, created by Bob Haney and Howard Purcell. Now really, it's nothing too special. June Moon at the time was a freelance artist and had been invited to an old castle for a costume party. Now as she was stumbling around, she came across this dark and somewhat secret chamber, where she met a mysterious magical being. This individual bestowed powers upon her so that she could fight evil entities that lurked within the old castle. Now her transformation is very similar to that of the one we see in the Suicide Squad, where she uttered the words the Enchantress and transforms from June Moon to the raven-haired Enchantress. And from that point onwards, she would throughout the entire night defeat and destroy any supernatural deities that threatened the world. And thus the Enchantress became a force of good, at least for a while. You see, from this point onwards, she kind of flip-flopped from being good and then bad and then good again. If anything, the Enchantress is more of an anti-hero than an actual hero or a villain, at least up to the new 52, where the Enchantress is portrayed as more of a villainous character. Number 2. What exactly is the Enchantress? Now you do have to wonder, where exactly did this magical spiritual entity come from, since it does seemingly have limitless power? Well, the Enchantress entity has been described as a succubus from another dimension, but the origins of this dimension is seemingly left unknown, so its origins can only be described for now as vague. But what we do know about the Enchantress is that she's a destructive force if not put on a leash. You see, at one point June Moon and the Enchantress were in fact separated, allowing June Moon to live her normal life, whilst the Enchantress entity went on a rampage, causing havoc across the world and defeating the likes of Superman, Wonder Woman and Cyborg. It's only until the Justice League Dark got involved and remerged the entity with June Moon once more, but with slight changes, such as the fact that June Moon now had better control of the Enchantress. Number 3. Enchantress actually appeared in the Flashpoint story arc, and for those of you who aren't too familiar with that, Barry Allen, aka The Flash, went back in time to go save his mother. By doing this, he created a butterfly effect that would affect his current time when he returned, where the Amazons and Atlanteans were battling each other and were more or less tearing the world apart by in fact doing it. So Barry Allen would team up with this timeline's Batman, Cyborg, and a heroic version of the Secret Six. Now during the climax of this battle between the Amazons and the Atlanteans, Barry and his forces would get involved with a final attempt to stop this war, and they did have the upper hand for a long amount of time, with Cyborg and the Flash battling Aquaman and this universe's version of Captain Marvel keeping Wonder Woman occupied. Now he was gaining the upper hand until Enchantress shouted Shazam, returning Captain Marvel to his childlike counterparts. Now you see, Enchantress had turned against her allies. She wasn't on the side of either Atlantis or the Amazons. She simply wanted to create disarray and havoc and started to attack her former allies. But this betrayal did not last too long, as the Kal-El of this universe returned back to planet Earth and stomped her into the ground, instantly killing her. Now though the Enchantress played a minor role in the Flashpoint universe, she was more or less responsible for Billy Batson's death, which prevented the assistance of Shazam, which led to the inevitable destruction of the Flashpoint universe. Number 4. She has a relationship with Killer Croc. So yeah, this is a thing that recently happened. Post New 52 and June being in control of the Enchantress, she's recruited into the Suicide Squad and becomes a rather prominent member of the team as she begins to understand her powers day by day. Now whilst with her team, which consisted of Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, El Diablo, Harley Quinn and Killer Croc, they would have to travel into the Phantom Zone to retrieve an item. It's here where they met General Zod. Now Zod became aware of Enchantress's magical abilities and thus targeted her first, but Killer Croc intervened and actually saved her, which is something that confused her, as Croc at his heart is a very hateful individual. Due to his rough upbringing and lust for human flesh, it was a surprise to everyone, and later down the line, he even confesses his feelings to her in probably the least romantic way possible, saying that he wants to eat everyone, but he doesn't want to eat her. I guess. Now Belle Reve was attacked, as the item they had retrieved from the Phantom Zone, the Black Vault, had caused prisoners, guards and scientists in Belle Reve to go mad and start killing each other, and this led to many prisoners leaving their cells, and it wasn't long until Croc caught up to June with a seeming lust to actually eat her. But instead, when we in fact cut back to them, they kind of ended up hooking up. Ha, suck it Rick Flag, you cardboard bitch. Number 5. The Suicide Squad movie. Now this film is surrounded by a lot of controversy, with some loving it it and some absolutely hating it. But one thing we can't deny or forget is some of the weird stuff that ended up happening on set. And the person who was most notorious for these things was Jared Leto, as he wanted to get into the mindset of the Joker by just doing really weird and just random stuff. But he in fact wasn't the only person to do this on set. Enchantress's actress, Cara Delevingne, would, and I quote, strip naked and wander through the woods in her homeland of England. You can't buy this shit. Now, the idea behind this was not only to get into the head of Enchantress, but to also get in touch with nature. And thus she would walk through the woods, feeling the mud between her toes and howling at a full moon. So apparently this is what she'd prepped up to do before she got on set every single day. Just wow. Alright guys, that's it for this video. It got really weird near the end, I'm not gonna lie. I hope you've learned more about this character. I know the last fact isn't exactly a fact about the Enchantress, but it's so goddamn absurd. It would be criminal for me to not actually have it be here on this list, because it is hilarious and just mad. But yeah, that's kind of it for this video, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this and you're enjoying your time as playing as Enchantress. Now, what do you think about the Enchantress character as a whole? Do you like her? Would you want to see her return in Suicide Squad 2? Please do comment down below. Now, before this video wraps up, guys, if possible, let's try getting it to about 500 likes. That's a great way of supporting this channel since YouTube's ad system is broken as hell. So by giving it a thumbs up, it helps out a ton. And if you also want to go that extra step, we also have a Patreon set up, and a link for that will be down in the description below. Anyway guys, as always, please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I'll see you all next time.